exciting because Ben Miller has arrived. He's in the studio and he's going to be talking about this brand new book.
Yeah, well, he's obviously been known from TV and film. He's also found time to become a best-selling author too. So anything you can't do. 7 years after his first kids' book, he's put a twist on another classic fairy tale in Puss in Boots and is here to tell us more. This is exciting, isn't it?
I know, it's a tough market, you know, the cat children's author.
Yeah, I know.
Someone had it cornered, but turns out I didn't.
It looks so good because it's actually written in the form of a diary. You should have thought of this. It's so
It's a lot
good.
easier to write a diary. That's what I discovered. Yeah. None of that he said, she said stuff. Don't have to describe anything.
But isn't it? I imagine it's quite a tricky construct because you know, it's not like a classic narrative of ABC, is it?
There's two things that are quite interesting about them. One is to tell the story. Obviously, the character's got to be there at every moment in the story. And the other, you've got to have a character the kids really, really want to see the world, you know, through their eyes. And a cat,
it's first person
this
as well,
particular
I guess,
cat, yeah, it's first person. I think that's great for early readers, though, because, you know, I did this and I did this and I saw that and I went there, and I think they're immediately involved in the story. And looking at the world through a cat's eyes, a cat who thinks he's a little bit cleverer than he actually is a fun way to see the world.
And did someone sort of read? Does someone not own? But is there an AA? There's not an AA film for Puss in Boots. It's just more of a fairy tale and a myth. Like it's not like you had to get a family.
Quite an old fairy tale. That's just really interesting. And this is the old version.
This is the classic.
This is like the classic version. So, and the setup is brilliant, which is there's an ogre. I'm not entirely sure what an ogre is, but it doesn't sound good.
No.
And the ogre eats the miller, and therefore the miller's son and the mill cat have to find somewhere to live. They've got to make their way in the world.
Yeah.
And the cat, being thinking he's cleverer than he is, thinks, I'm going to fool everyone into thinking I'm a human, and I'm going to go to the palace. So I'm going to get some boots, little outfit. I'll go to the palace, and I'll convince them that the miller's son is a lord, marry him off, and then we'll all live happily ever after.
Yeah.
The plan doesn't go well.
No.
But it is such a fun story, because you've got this... And the bit that's missing in the fairy tale, which I wanted to write, was the bit where the cat dresses up as a person for the first time. Getting his boots on. Quite painful as a cat.
Beautiful illustrations as well.
Oh, I've got a fantastic illustrator.
And he's walking on 2 feet.
You're walking on 2 feet. Yeah, he finds it a bit real strain. Yeah, no, it's very uncomfortable. It's exhausting.
Muscles
the whole
he's
thing.
never used before. Ow!
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know this was even possible. Yeah, so, really, I've got a brilliant... I mean, it was lovely to see that illustration there. Brilliant illustrator, Elisa Paganelli, who brings all of the characters to life in the story.
They're beautiful animation. They're really gorgeous. But what's so amazing is it's in diary form. Some of the chapters are really short.
Short chapters.
Big writing, lots of pictures. I love it.
I think the hardest one for me to write was the one that says, nothing much happened today.
The thing is, as soon as I go to bed and read a chapter, I'm done after half a page.
Well,
so
also,
I think
as
this
a
book
parent,
is also for adults.
Reading
as well.
to your kids, yeah, good for adults, good for anyone who basically, I think costs kids a lot to read. It costs them a lot of energy and effort, so it gives them that immediate reward. I've just finished the chapter.
Because they're getting through it.
I'm turning the pages and I'm getting through it. But also that crucial thing where your kid says, when you've got, you know, you've slightly miscalculated things, it's late and you've got to get into bed, and they said, can I have a story? And you go, nothing much happened. There you go.
I'll be doing that chapter over and over again.
Well, that's my world at the moment as well. What do your kids make of it?
Well, my daughter's quite a stern critic of mine. My daughter, Lana, 9 years old. Yeah, she loves this sort of diary form. She's not one to hold back. I do try I check everything out with my daughter. You know, the stories, obviously, I try them out on her. Do you know Puss in Boots? Do you know the story? And work on it with her in the car in the morning. I mean, they really earn their keep, those kids. But I'll give you a little, example of how unimpressed she can be. I was in Paddington 3.
That was that picture there, wasn't it?
I was there, and I managed to wangle a ticket to bring Lana with me.
Yeah.
We turn up
Greatest
to the
dad in the world. I mean, that's greatest dad in the world.
Best dad in the world, right? Best dad in the world. we have our pictures taken on the red carpet. We go inside and the movie starts. I mean, it's a big deal, isn't it? You see the stars coming in. It's Paddington. It's Paddington 3. Peru. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. The movie starts. I'm in at the beginning, and I've got a couple of lines, and I give Paddington this umbrella, and then I'm not in it. He goes to Peru, and she turned to me. She said, "Have we come all this way for that?" I said, "What are you talking about? It wouldn't be a story if I'd given him that umbrella. Nothing would have happened. He'd have been lost. There would be no Paddington in Peru.
I'm your dad.
And I'm your dad.
Children are so honest, though, aren't they?
I
They
love
just tell it. Well, do they like the book? I mean, would they even dress up as one of the characters, maybe on World Book Day or something?
That's the thing. I would love it if my own kids would dress as... kids do dress as my characters on World Book Day, and I love it.
Yeah.
I got this character who, in a book called The Boy Who Made the World Disappear, where he gets given, instead of a balloon at a party, children's party, he gets given a black hole on a piece of string. And every year I get kids posting photos with a black balloon on a stick like this.
That's so
costume,
cool.
isn't it?
Brilliant idea for a costume. My daughter will never dress as any of my characters. This year we had Trunchbull, I think she came as.
Also,
last year
she should have done it by now. That's the thing, because she's 9 now.
I know.
Before we let you go, Professor T is coming back, right?
Very excited. We've got a new series of Professor T. So at the end of the last series of Professor T, it ended on a big sort of emotional moment when one of them, Lisa, the main detective in the show, lost her life.
Yeah.
And it was devastating for all the other characters in the story. This is we're moving into a much lighter story now in this new series, and it kind of love is in the air for all the characters, and love is also in the air for Professor T, who begins to have a relationship with his psychotherapist.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. It's never straightforward, is it? But I'm really excited about that, yeah.
And what can you tell us about Austin? This is something you filmed in Australia.
With
I can
Sally
just
Phillips.
tease this. Yeah, I filmed it. This is a comedy show. I've just got back from filming the second series in Australia. It's been a big hit in Australia. It's coming here, I think, in April. It's a half-hour comedy about the main character, Austin, is played by Michael Theo, and he came to fame in a show called Love on the Spectrum, which is sort of dating for people on the autistic spectrum. He became a huge star from that, not just here and in Australia, but also in the US. And we've developed this show around him where I play a children's author, big stretch. Sally Phillips plays my wife, who's the illustrator of these books that we do, and we go to Australia on a book tour, and he turns up to the book tour and tells me he's my son.
Oh, my goodness.
And then we have to kind of deal with that for the rest of the series.
Good.
But he's the most brilliant comedy actor, and he sort of plays a version of him, not himself exactly, but a character quite close to himself. And he got nominated for an Australian BAFTA this year. So, yeah, his first acting job.
I can't wait to see
Ben, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the book. This is Ben's new book, The Diary of a Puss in Boots. And it's out now. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, it was out today, I think.
Very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Almost too good.
Thanks for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
Look, Jim is here to talk with us today about a cause that's very close to his heart.
After seeing the work conducted by charity Marie Curie firsthand, Jim is supporting them on their new campaign to fix end-of-life care.
Yeah, research by the charity has found that 1 in 4 people do not get the care that they need at their end of life. And so he's joining them with a call for the government to try and take some more action. This is a cause, as we said, very close to your heart. How did you get to know about Marie Curie, Jim?
I can't really remember, Ben. I mean, I've been an ambassador for Marie Curie for about 10 years. I can't remember what the initial connection was, but a very good friend of mine nursed his sister through the end of life. And she was only in her 50s and had terminal cancer, and he couldn't have done it without the support that Marie Curie gave him. I mean, but in sort of coming to the home, she saw the end of her life at home, which is what most of us would want, I think, wouldn't we, rather than in a hospital or a hospice. And seeing how they supported his sister and him, because the carer, I mean, obviously it's psychologically really difficult and exhausting to care for someone at that stage. So I thought, well, this is fantastic. They're great at what they do. They're the leading end-of-life sort of providers. So I'm very happy to support them, and particularly in this new Fix the End of Life campaign. Yeah. Because, you know, so you want the end of life to be it's hard enough.
Yes.
So you want it to be easy. You want to be surrounded by family if you can. I think most people would prefer to die at home. And at the moment, in the last year of life, about 80% of finance goes into hospital care, and of that, about half goes into emergency A&E care, and only 4% goes into palliative care. And we'd like the government, who are looking at this situation, they're coming up with a new 10-year strategy for the NHS. So this seems like the perfect time to talk about, could you look at long-term strategy for palliative care so everybody's got access to it in the way that's best for them, really. And, you know, Marie Curie are very strong on this.
They're a remarkable charity. I know how closely one of my good friends, Chris Kamara, Cammy, works with them, and the difference that they made to his mother-in-law's life at the end of her care. And the Daffodil campaign is such a massive campaign for them, isn't it?
It is. I mean, this is March. This is the daffodil. It's the season of daffodils in the garden. It's the Daffodil campaign. And I think this is the 39th year of the Marie Curie. Yeah. So we you know, we'd ask everyone to try and support Marie Curie at this moment. I think last year we raised 1.3 million. So if people can go to the Marie Curie website, there's all sorts of different ways that you can support, you know, and their work. Getting nurses into homes and their research and this current Fix the End of Life care campaign, it all goes to support that. So go to the website and have a look, see how you can help out. That'd be great.
I think one of the really important things, as you say, the government's doing this review, and that we know that they've said that they're going to be investing money into this as well to help support the work of hospices and end-of-life care.
They're putting 100 million in, which is fantastic, but that's sort of going into bricks and mortar facilities, you know, and if you're not near a hospital or a hospice, then, you know, it can be a bit patchy, that. I mean, I'm not knocking it in any way. And, you know, Marie Curie worked very closely with the NHS. And if we can take some of the burden off hospitals and ambulance services and the 999 service by getting more nurses into homes, more care into homes, sort of in the community, away from the hospitals, then it frees up the hospitals for the work that they do so well. And that would be the brilliant thing to do, I think. So it's a long-term strategy, but, you know, the last government review about 7 or 8 years ago didn't really touch on palliative care. We're all getting older.
Yes.
You know, there's so many
Everybody will need some help at some stage.
Because one thing's sure, you know, we have one life, you know, and we're all it's going to end at some time. So it'll benefit everybody.
So opening up the conversation too.
I think that's so important to be able to talk about death in a kind of a reasoned way, not to be frightened of it, because we know it's going to happen. So, you know, simple things like, have you made a will? What music do you want at your funeral? Those sort of things, because it's traumatic enough dying without leaving family going, sort of, what bank was Mum with, or what music would she want at her funeral? She wouldn't want the Stones. You don't
know. She could be a bit of a goer.
Well, she could be, you know, jumping Jack Flash. You never know. So all those conversations, make them as normal as possible. It doesn't have to be traumatic. It just can be a sort of a general thing, you know. And start at any age. Don't wait till it's late. You know?
For sure. We don't have that long with you this morning, Jim, but we've got to ask you about Downton as well before you go. New movie, what can you tell us?
I can tell you, I think I'm allowed to tell you that it's opening on September the 12th. Great. That's very good. The third film. That's exciting.
Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't. No. I think we're going to see it soon.
OK.
But so no, it's going to be a mystery to me. I know I filmed certain parts of it in the Great Yorkshire Showground in Harrogate, which is 300 yards from where I was born.
Oh, wow.
And I learned to ride my bicycle on the Great Yorkshire Showground.
And it's a role, you've always said that customs is the role that you were born to play.
Sort of, yeah.
I mean, isn't that extraordinary that then the heritage of you growing up and then there you were being him?
There I was being him back home, yeah. And the weird thing is the Great Yorkshire Showground, I mean, I tell Imelda, my wife, this, and she laughs. In the 50s, there was very little excitement in Harrogate, and there were no traffic lights. So when the Great Yorkshire Show was on for 3 days in July, there was traffic jams. We would make a picnic and sit on the wall and watch the traffic jam. I'm not looking for your pity.
Disney heights of excitement.
Was that where Betty's tea room started? It was basically to come and watch the traffic jam.
Betty's,
Let's
get a fat rascal from Betty's and watch the traffic jam.
Absolutely amazing.
And is it nice to see the rest of the cast and stuff?
It's great. In fact, I've got a hot date in about 10 days' time with Mrs. Patmore, Mrs. Hughes, Daisy the maid, and Mr. Barrow, the naughty footman who became my successor as butler. So we meet up for dinners from time to time and dish the dirt, sort of thing. So,
I bet it was magical getting back together, although missing Dame Maggie, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, what a... You know, we won't see her like again, really. Somebody, I mean, an iconic figure who, you know, whose career started in classical theatre and then expanded to worldwide fame, you know, winning Oscars at the drop of a hat. And how lucky we were to have worked so closely with her for so long in Downton Abbey, you know, I mean...
Those lines as well that she'd deliver.
Zing,
zing. They were so good.
Get me back another time and I'll tell you about when Maggie Smith met Shirley MacLaine. I mean, that was a meeting of that.
Divas!
Wow.
Yeah.
We need that. We need the inside on that.
Yeah,
For sure.
Jim, we're out of time. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Lovely to see you.
As we say, really, really pleased that you come in and talk a lot about the Marie Curie end-of-life care campaign. I think it's really, really important.
Thank you for your support on that. That's really appreciated.
And we'll pass on your comments to Sam as well. He'll be thrilled to know you had your head in your hands as he tried his best.
Yeah.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning. To the delight of fans, Strictly Come Dancing legend and judge Anton de Beck is heading back to the stage.
Have you been writing this script?
This is a good script. I liked it. Some of the stuff earlier I was concerned about, but this is good now.
His live band, his special guests, you can expect a fabulous evening of song, dance and laughter.
And here to tell us more is the great man himself.
I like that legend that popped in there earlier. Thank you for that.
Come on, tell us more about this tour.
Well, it's my favourite sort of show, really, musicals. We all love a musical, and I love the musicals. So we have it's a bit of a magic at the musicals, really.
Yeah.
And I've got this incredible band, of course. Everybody's been to see me before. Will know the band. An incredible band, wonderful dancers. The fabulous Lance Ellington's joining me again.
Amazing.
And I've got Lauren Oakley with me from Strictly this year as well, joining me as a special guest. She is, as we know, exquisite. And we're doing numbers and choreography from musicals, but we're sort of packaging it. So we do, rather than just one number per musical. So, for example, we've got a lovely My Fair Lady section, which is my favourite. And we'll do 3 or 4 numbers from that, and then we'll segue into Anything Goes, and we'll do 2 or 3 numbers from Anything Goes. Then we'll go on to Sound of Music, and we'll do some numbers from Sound of Music.
Your wife's favourite, right?
My wife's favourite.
It's your wife's favourite. You've got to keep the wife happy.
Well, you're absolutely right.
Yes.
Tremendous. Well done, you.
Yes, thank you.
And so we go through, but we have, as is always with these things, and I do like to chat to the audience, and I wasn't going to do that this time, but I am, because, you know, people are changing costumes and stuff, and so I go, hello, my love, how are you? Lovely jubbly, and all that, and we're having a chat, and we do a few stories, and this has become now a thing in the show. It wasn't a thing, it's become now a thing. So I asked the audience, what's your favourite musical? What's your favourite musical?
Oh, what is my favourite musical? I very much like West Side Story.
West Side Story. And Ben, what's your...
a couple, Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon.
Is that there? We'll come to that as well.
We like that one.
Yeah.
And, and then I do this. I've got a bunch of people. Now, and obviously, we don't have all the musicals, so many musicals. We haven't got them all in the show. We've got the selection. But this has now become a thing. So in the second half, because I've got this incredible band, we sort of busk up some numbers from musicals. And we call it the musicals that aren't in the show musicals.
Oh, wow.
So it's like a sing-along.
You'll ask someone...
Well, no, not for them. Not for the audience. Just
so the audience will say, I really like Five Guys Named Mo, and you'll find something from Five Guys Named Mo.
And then we'll put that into... We did a bit of Phantom the other evening. I played Christine. It didn't go down too well. And Lance was playing... Raoul. and we end up doing this section in the second half.
Sing for me.
Sing for me.
Wait, hold on. But what do you do with the words? Because do you know the words?
No, so we bring on the iPad, we Google up the lyrics, the band play this... Because the band is such genius.
They can just do it.
My musicians are the greatest in the world, I have to tell you. And they can play anything. And Clive Dunstall, my MD, he looks at the and they all go, and they've probably been in the show, like Howard, for example, who's on the sax. He's done
Sexy saxophone.
He's done he's in Wicked at the moment as well, and they've all done stuff. And so they start playing, and then on we go. And
I love it.
It's such a fun, brilliant part of the show. It wasn't in the show.
No.
But these things are sort of
organically, it's come about.
Loosey
It's like when you
goosey.
did your one-man show and the questions you got for the audience was such a special part of that event when I came to see you there, because everybody feels like, it's personal for them. And it's always different, which keeps it live for you guys.
Which is great for us because we always, it's always a new show for us. I mean, we had a couple of teething problems in the first couple of shows. I mean, I have one moment which I shall never forget. I came out and sang entirely the wrong song. Apologies to everybody who came to that show.
You what?
But, oh, no, I had an absolute nightmare. I came out all sort of enthusiastic, had a quick change, and came out with the wrong song.
Doesn't the music help?
No. I was beyond listening. I was just out. Whoosh! In olden days. That's the wrong song. Oh, my God. I mean, sort of work our way back into the right song. But it's great. I mean, that's live theatre. That's the joy of live theatre. But we're, it's all bedded in now. So, and out of that come these little gems, of the musicals that aren't in the musical part. But the show numbers are incredible. So, the section, for example, I use My Fair Ladies as an example. It's my favourite bit. And we've got, Candor and Ebb section there. We've got Chicago, and we've got a bit of Cabaret, and we've got Moulin Rouge in there.
Oh, fantastic.
And we've got a bit of Dreamgirls. We've got Lucy Nolan, who sings wonderfully, does that great note. And Lauren, she makes an amazing Eliza. She sings these numbers with great character. She's got a great voice. So I'm really delighted with it. It's a great show.
You do love your musicals.
I love them.
So what happened with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
What happened was, it was a trick question.
Millionaire musicals question.
It's
all or nothing, in you go.
There you go. He's handed me one, hasn't he? He's gone, here, I have that one for free. And I was like that, I know the answer to this. Because, I know the music to Moulin Rouge. I know the music to
I've got a West End show that does all about musicals.
It's got it in it. I've listened to all the music. Well, no, disaster.
You got it wrong.
So what did you do?
Well, I had to because I was
money.
I was on 16. Everybody knows the show. I was on 16,000, but I hadn't put the ceiling thing up.
Yes.
And so it was going to drop to 1, and I went like that, and he went, "Are you sure?" I've got it down to 2 musicals. I can't even think about it. It makes it a bit peculiar. And I went, "If I get this wrong, I'll pay the money myself." He went, "Well, you just lost 15 grand."
Oh!
I went, "Oh my God."
Fabulously,
This
though.
is the call. Darling,
Can you get the checkbook?
could you get the checkbook out?
Well, I think you gave the money. I think
did it
yesterday we got a lovely bit of footage. So this is you.
We had a lovely afternoon tea. You've
got a big checkbook, Anton.
Well, I have. It's very spectacular. It doesn't come out very often. But we,
It's laminated as well,
it's
just in
laminated.
case.
That's how often I use it. But it was. We had an afternoon tea for the charity yesterday.
Fabulous.
Which we raised a lot of money for the sick children. So everybody who came to that, thank you very much for supporting the charity. It's gratefully received. And then I handed over the £15,000 cheque that I owed the charity. But I'm just disappointed that I couldn't have ploughed on and got more money for the charity.
because it's
the
always
least I
there.
could do.
It's amazing what happens when you're under that sort of pressure. You're going on tour again in the summer with Gio, of course.
Yes, we're going out in the summer, which we're looking forward to.
The reaction to you guys being together is
wonderful. We call it Together, the show. We're calling it Together again, and I'm looking for. I haven't seen him for a few months. He was away in Italy doing the Italian show. He's been on the road doing his show. So we'll get together in May, and I'm looking forward to it. And it'll be lovely. I'm looking forward to the show because I think I'd like to think we're going to do some new numbers, but some old numbers because we've done a lot together and some great stuff. So I think we might revisit 1 or 2 great numbers that we've done in the past. So, it's like you do these shows and you go, oh, well, once you've done it, you may never do that again. It seems a waste, so we're going to put it together.
nice to recreate some of that.
Yeah, lovely.
Recreate the magic.
Lovely.
Sure.
Anton, always a joy
Lovely
to see you.
both.
Lovely
Thank you.
Thanks for the percussion during Spin
I
Spin
was
as well.
trying to
Next
help
time
the
you
best
can
I
do the
could.
wheel.
You did.
Spin.
Catherine got 2 grand.
Yeah.
2 grand, lovely.
And Anton de Beek at the musicals travels to Durham on Friday.
And he's going to sing the right songs to the right music.
I'm all over
In
it
the right
now.
time.
I'm right up to speed. I'm bedded in. I'm good to go.
Now, it's a condition that affects more than 1 million people in this country, yet obsessive-compulsive disorder is still widely misunderstood, and it's a condition that our next guest has been learning to live with since childhood.
Yeah, starring in hit TV shows, including, of course, Downton Abbey, Tuppence Middleton appeared to be the epitome of confidence. But behind the scenes, her life was controlled by terrifying, intrusive thoughts and repetitive compulsive rituals.
Now Tuppence has opened up about the extent of her condition for the first time in her new memoir, Scorpions.
And as she's preparing to take to the West End stage again tonight, Tuppence has taken a break from her busy schedule to tell us more about the book. Firstly, you started last night in The Years, which I saw on Saturday. I'm still reeling from.
Yeah.
How did it go?
OK, I think. I had a great time. I think you spend so much energy being hyper-focused before your first performance, so you sort of don't really think about anything else, just getting through to the end of the play. But it's such a supportive company, and it's such a beautiful thing to be a part of, so I just felt very supported.
It's an extraordinary experience watching it. We'll come and talk about that a little bit later on, because, of course, we also want to talk about your book.
Yeah, Scorpions. Yeah, it's so brave and open and honest, and what I like most about it is, even if you don't suffer from OCD yourself at all, your writing makes you go to that place. You can absolutely empathise with exactly what you're going through. Was that a conscious decision?
Yeah, I think I'd read books on OCD which had felt quite statistical and sort of removed, and I really wanted for people to feel like they were inside the head of someone with OCD, for it to feel immersive, so you could understand the thought processes. And I think we have a very sort of generalised, often trivialised version of what OCD is.
Yeah.
And whether that's people thinking, oh, I like order and cleanliness. I wanted people to understand the sort of the bit before that, the bit before the compulsions. What happens in your head? Why do I have to count to 8? Why do I have to touch these things a certain amount of times? Why do I have this sort of reassurance-seeking behaviours? And for someone who doesn't have OCD, I wanted to give them more of an understanding. But if you do suffer with it, I also sort of wanted to provide a little bit of hope.
It was so clever, actually.
Yeah.
The Scorpions,
That's an idea.
the idea of that, it allows the reader to get hold of exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I think often people like to sort of name their OCD, they either as a sort of singular entity or something else. But for me, it always felt like this sort of crawling, sinister presence, and the thoughts and the way that they change and the speed that they move. The idea of scorpions crawling around in my head was something that always struck a chord.
How did it start, Tuppence?
Well, I think it started really after I had a prolonged illness as a child. I had chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME, as it's also known. And I was constantly nauseous. I lost a lot of weight. I was very tired. I couldn't get out of bed. And that lasted for a few months. And when I finally recovered, I started to get symptoms of OCD and perform these sort of checking behaviours and a lot of counting rituals. So I would look at things in my room which were square and count the corners to a count of 8, and then it would be checking certain things in the kitchen, checking door handles, worrying about getting sick, which was a huge drive, I think, as a carry through from my illness, that I'd had this prolonged nausea and never had any resolution. So I think that turned into emetophobia, which I talk a lot about in the book, which is a fear of vomiting, and that drives a lot of those cleanliness compulsions.
And did it kind of spiral out of control pretty quickly? Because what you're talking about was when you were about 10 or 11.
Yeah.
You stopped going to school. Your mum must have been so upset and terrified, not knowing exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Did it spiral out of control fairly quickly, or did you get some help? And how long did it take you to get the diagnosis?
It was quite gradual. I mean, it was something that we initially went to our GP about when I was 11 or 12, when it first started to show up. And then I sort of managed it through school. And the thing about OCD, which I think is quite difficult and which I wanted to shed light on, is that it's such a private thing, because so much of it is internal thinking, then you can hide it from people. And a lot of my checking behaviours revolved around my home. So once I had kind of left a place of responsibility, I suppose, then it was much easier to cover it up. So it was at its worst in my early and mid-20s, when I was sort of studying, but then just after that, when I'd started working the first few years after drama school. And then I sought various different types of help. I tried CBT therapy, cognitive behavioural therapy. I was on medication for 2.5 years, which was an antidepressant often prescribed for OCD. And then eventually I had a course of talking therapy as I was coming off medication, which was the thing that helped me the most. But it's so individual, I think.
So individual. You're a mum now as well, and you work in a world which is very high profile professionally.
Yeah.
And you have to mix with all sorts of people with demands on your time, like performing live on stage.
Yeah.
I mean, how does it manifest itself now, Tuppence? How do you navigate being a mum? Because little kids can be ill.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. So that was a really difficult thing, and I think people with OCD often don't even get pregnant because they're worried about morning sickness, or they're worried about what happens when they have children and those children pick up bugs as they inevitably do.
Yeah.
I think a lot of preparation is involved. There's two sides to it, I suppose. You have this distraction which requires a lot of your focus. So in that respect, sometimes it can distract me from routines and rituals that I set up, which is a great thing. And then on the other hand, there is this huge anxiety about, going to a soft play or going to nursery and picking up bugs. And so then I have these sort of kits which I built in case she gets ill. And I have a very understanding partner, and it's a lot about preparing yourself for those situations.
Being organised.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just so tricky, I think, to manage it within society too, and people's perceptions of it, because we've seen interviews that you've done where people sometimes just trivialise it, actually.
Yeah.
You received a mug as a present.
Yeah, which said obsessive-compulsive on it. Yeah. And something that I talk about in the book too, I find it hard to imagine someone having a mug with PTSD written on it. It's a mental health condition, and it's just because there are elements of it which may seem kind of ludicrous to people, then it's still very serious to the person who has it. And I think in terms of work, I now feel much more able to speak to co-stars or speak to, if I have an intimate scene with someone and tell them this is my particular anxiety, and please let me know if you have any kind of contagious illness that could potentially throw up some problems.
Goodness me. It's fascinating. As Kat was saying, it's brilliant that you're talking about it so openly as well. Like, we know you professionally so open, but personally, this is the difference. We're joined as well now by psychiatrist and OCD specialist, Professor David Veal. Good morning to you, Professor David. Thank you for joining us. Can you just break down, in simple terms, for the layman, exactly what OCD is?
Well, obsessive-compulsive disorder consists of both obsessions and compulsions. And an example of an obsession might be a fear of contamination, perhaps from germs or something, and leading to compulsive washing. Or someone else might have a doubt that they've just run over a cyclist, leading to constant checking. Someone else might have intrusive thoughts about stabbing their baby or something and having to neutralise it. So it's many different types within OCD, but the key thing is that it's very distressing, very time-consuming and interfering in one's life.
I mean, Tuppence talked about some of the treatments that she's had. Is it something that can be cured with the right treatment?
Most people can make definitely progress in terms of using both cognitive behaviour therapy, but it needs to be specific. It includes principles of facing up to your fears and being able to learn how to tolerate uncertainty. So it is tough. It requires a lot of courage. And as Tuppence says, and people with more severe problems might be helped also by medication.
And if somebody was watching the show right now and was picking up on maybe some of the symptoms that you're describing, or thinking that they have those kind of thoughts, what would be your advice to them?
Well, I'd definitely seek professional help, and you can do that in the UK through talking therapies, on the NHS, certainly, or you can get a referral by your GP. But, I think the message is this is something that's definitely treatable, and you can definitely make progress, even if you don't completely recover from it.
Well, thank you, Professor David. I'd imagine that you'd echo that as well, Tuppence, that you are making progress.
Yes, I think, I feel now at a position in my life where it's much more manageable, and I've learned certain ways to cope with it when I'm in more stressful periods of my life. So that's part of the reason I felt like it was good timing to write the book. I could have some perspective.
He's tackled desert marathons and even made it to the Everest base camp. But Spencer Matthews' latest challenge was his toughest yet.
Having run over 170 kilometres in 24 hours, he incorporated all his worthy charities along the way. Spencer is here to tell us how it all went It was an extraordinary challenge, that one, Spencer. What made you come up with it?
I have a new podcast called Untapped, and,
Yeah.
and on that new show, which kind of explores human potential, and we have, hopefully entertaining and thought-provoking conversations around health and wellness and pushing yourself. I interviewed a guy called Kylian Jornet, who's considered by many to be, one of the best ultra athletes in the world, trail runner, but real incredible stamina, and does all kinds of amazing things with his mind. And on the show, he just casually dropped that over a 2-week period, he ran for 22 hours a day, every day.
For 2 weeks?
Yeah. And I was just like, what? And I kind of suddenly started looking at Strava and other athletes who are kind of far superior to me, and discovered that 24-hour running is a thing. Like, there are, people do it. There are teams and all kinds of stuff. So I'd just never given it any thought, and I thought, I wonder if I could run for 24 hours. And I knew that the experience of doing it would be interesting to me.
Of course.
So yeah, planned it on the kind of Monday. I'd been wanting to do it since interviewing Kylian. Planned it on the Monday and did it on the Friday.
What sort of preparation do you have to do, though?
Monday to Friday, apparently.
Yeah.
It's not very long.
It was an interesting challenge in the sense that there was a lack of preparation and there were questions that were unanswered. And it was, I don't know, that I wouldn't suggest, by the way, tackling something like that with no preparation. But for someone like me who has, I was fortunate to become a world record holder last year. We planned that so specifically, meticulously, and took out kind of most risk. And it didn't diminish it, but it made it that much more achievable because, I put in the countless months of preparation and stuff. So the end result had less question marks around it. So with this 24-hour run, I wasn't really sure of completing it. There was a lot of questions around it. So for somebody like me, it was a fun battle with myself to see if it can be done. And I really enjoyed it. It was a big mental battle at times, but also quite a beautiful thing. I was really proud of it.
A beautiful thing, a mental battle. You know what he needs, don't you?
What does he need?
Some cup of soups.
Oh, yeah.
To keep him going.
Yes, so it was the
That's
cup of
what he
soups
needs.
that solved the dilemma halfway round. You were struggling.
My dear friend and coach and logistical head for the 30 Desert Marathons, a guy called Chris Taylor, a phenomenal athlete, and he said to me, if you can get some soup into you during the night, that would be really helpful.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any soup with me. We had pizzas and burgers and stuff that were cold and being savaged by foxes during the night.
Savaged by
I know, like,
foxes.
literally, I would be on the one side of the track and I'd look over and there'd be a fox, like,
Eating your food.
In my food, and I'd be like, get that fox away! There was no one there, obviously, to kind of control the fox. And it was so annoying. But anyway, so I kind of went a bit hypothermic at one point.
Oh, no.
Which means that, you're cold from the inside out, basically, because I was wearing a big, thick hoodie at night, running on my own, in a bit of a world of my own.
And is that, sorry, Spence, is that because at that point you're just running around, you're not running fast enough to generate enough heat?
Yeah, no, so it was 0 degrees at night for a good kind of 6 or 7 hour period. And so I was wearing a hoodie and gloves, and I'd kind of bunched it all up. So I had this little tunnel vision, and I was running on my own, and the hoodie eventually became really wet because I was sweating.
Yes, of course.
And so it became this kind of big, wet, heavy thing. And at about 4 a.m., just after I'd cleared 100 kilometres, my body went into, anyone who's been hypothermic will tell you, it can be quite scary. It just went into this, it's sudden as well, this, and you can't control your temperature, and your body does everything it can to try and warm up. And I knew I had to get inside, so I got inside, got my wet hoodie off, but, all felt like quite a big effort. And there were some cuppa soups there, and I remember what Chris said to me, and I said, I need to get those cup of soups into me. And I did, and it was honestly, it was
and
like
that's what solved it.
It was a game
out.
changer. Like the little croutons. I feel like I've really missed out on cup of soups. I think I need to make it part of my routine.
And by the end, I mean, it gets tougher and tougher, and you've still got to get there. But you got Vogue involved. You got your little one involved as well.
Yeah, I mean, Vogue is just obviously my best friend and mother
You
of my
have
kids.
a gorgeous family.
She's so. She kept saying, nobody's making you do this, so why are you doing it? And she was great. She brought Theodore, who's a really enthusiastic runner, actually.
There he is, look.
I ran with him this morning at his school.
Did you?
Yeah, no, he runs. Like, he does junior park run.
How old is he?
6.
Oh, wow.
He does junior park run. He does his school run club. We ran together this morning. I love running with him, actually. Obviously, he's He's not quite up to the kind of longer distance stuff, but it makes me feel really proud.
But was he not frustrated that you were running so slowly by the end?
Yeah.
Like, Daddy, what's going on? Come on.
He came at the very end when obviously I was kind of, you know, just mustering together the energy to kind of keep moving, and he was like, "Why are you going so slowly?" And I was like, "I haven't stopped since you started running with me yesterday." And he kind of struggled with that. He didn't quite understand what I meant by the fact that I'd been running, you know, for the full day.
Yeah.
But he's brilliant. He's a really, you know, he's well, I struggle to call him a talented runner at his age, but he's certainly got the appetite for it.
It sounds like he's got a lot of drive and a lot of ambition. I think it's interesting, because Spencer, you've said recently that you want all of your kids to find their own way in life. You're not necessarily going to leave a load of legacy for them, inheritance and stuff. You want them to achieve off their own back.
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, I think it's important to help your kids if you can, and give them a steer in life, obviously. You know, as my dad has helped me and my mum has helped me from time to time. But yeah, I think, you know, trying to understand how to make your own way in life is really important. Feeling proud of yourself for your own achievements, you know, not being given everything on a plate, I think is what I meant by that, is important for the development of the child. You know, you need to try to earn your own way in life. That's not to say that, you know, I wouldn't give my kids a helping hand. Do
you think when you look back at your early life, late teenage years, your early 20s, when you went through a lot of turmoil and your Made in Chelsea all happened and you were drinking and stuff, that actually maybe you had experienced a little of being given too much at an early age and just sort of not necessarily finding your path?
I don't think those two things go hand in hand per se. I mean, I was a terrible drinker for a long period of time. My dad, I always remember looking back at kind of, you know, wanting a larger allowance or whatever else. You know, he was always my dad was a car mechanic and has always been an incredibly hard worker, and you know used to instill that in us on an incredibly regular basis. That, you know, it's very important to earn your own way and help. But as I said, you know, my dad and I have a wonderful relationship, and there's always been love, you know, there. And he's helped me from time to time when I was growing up. Obviously, before I was able to go and build my own career, you need a bit of help from, well, you know, not everybody gets that luxury, but I was helped a bit by my family, as I would hope to help my own kids. What I meant by the comment, I think, was that you know, your kids need to feel proud of their own achievements and pushing themselves to achieve on their own is all I meant. But you know, we'll be there loving them for as long as
you're
we're around.
undoubtedly setting an amazing example about pushing yourself. You've got another big challenge that you're setting up for, which is 7 Ironmen across 7 different continents. Yeah, so it's 7. I think I have to call them full distance triathlons because Ironman's a brand. But yes, it's exactly the same thing as an Ironman, same distances. It's a 3.8 kilometre swim, 180k bike and a full marathon, and I aim to be the fastest person to achieve an Ironman distance triathlon on every continent. So seven back to back. So we're looking at kind of Rio, Miami, London, India, potentially Mumbai, Perth in Australia, Cape Town in South Africa, and then Antarctica. all in kind of one go though.
Wow! And you're not a great swimmer, you said.
If I had to swim 3.8 kilometres today, there's a pretty good chance I'd drown.
Wow, so there's going to be a lot of work put into that part of it.
I'm going to have to learn how to swim. Yeah. But I think that's part of the interest as well, you know, picking up new stuff as you go along.
I mean, that's the magic of your podcast as well. Spencer's podcast, Untapped. You can get it Mondays, wherever you get your podcasts. It's you and Jake, and it's all about finding that sort of untapped ability that you don't necessarily know you have yet.
Yeah, I think we're all capable of you know, a lot more and doing really interesting things. And I think people are bound by boundaries getting in the way of stuff. I think boundaries are perceptions, and I think you know, if you're the kind of person that's listening going, I could never run a half marathon or I could never run a marathon, I'm here to tell you that's simply not true, right? And that part of the podcast is to try to inspire people to, not me, but our amazing guests, to try and inspire people to understand that they can do more and potentially push themselves a bit harder.
All for that.
Well, good luck with it.
Yes.
We wish you well. And send our love to Vogue too.
I will do.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank
you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
Oh, wow.
I could just watch a highlight reel of that for the next hour. That's amazing.
I mean, that was something. It was really something.
Wow, 55 years later, Lulu's getting back into the hosting route. She's got a brand new podcast, and she's here to tell us all about it and come for lunch and just spread love and happiness.
Well, it's just great to see you guys.
So good to see you. How are you?
Yeah, it's great. It's funny, you know, when you watch someone on the television all the time and then you come and you see them, you think you can just continue the conversation, but you haven't seen them for years, sort of thing.
You were so funny because you didn't want to let go of your plate of jerk chicken. You were like, I want that chicken.
I knew to come in early because I thought it would go. I thought it would go.
She was going to bring it here.
No, that's quite a good shout.
OK, are we going to judge this thing? Let's get it out of the way.
God,
It's done,
no,
then
we're
it's
both
done.
so awkward about it.
I know I've lost, but listen, we recorded the
We
well.
did our wells for you.
Have a look
earlier
at
on.
Dermot first. Have a look at this.
Well, was that right? A bit barky.
You were on.
Really?
You were
Okay,
on.
so
and you have to give this up. I do not want any competition.
See, he was good. Do you think he's been practicing?
I think he's...
No, remember, I've just woken up at this point.
OK,
I've just woken up. It's early in the morning.
Oh, it's tough to do that.
Have a listen.
Yeah, 5 a.m. this morning.
I couldn't even look at the cat. Oh, it's awful.
But you didn't finish it. You were absolutely on point.
I said
and
to her.
higher than you and I.
I lost
You sang it in my key.
I lost confidence. I didn't believe in myself.
Well,
it's a
you've got to
tough
do some
one.
work on that, darling.
Thank you,
But I
Lily.
don't think much.
I'm OK with you giving it as he won.
Well,
Yes,
I
you
think
have.
I don't know
Fine.
that I could just give it to you. Really, let's be fair. But you didn't finish it, so maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Maybe.
I didn't
But
finish
no, sod off. It's International Women's Day.
I knew this was
She's
gonna
getting
happen.
it.
Now,
Listen.
let's talk more Lulu.
Let's talk
Come
about
on.
Lulu. OK, first of all, podcast. How did it come about? What is it about?
Well, it's called Turning Points, and it's really. I have a new management, and they're amazing. So they said, you know, they've been asked, would I do a podcast? And they said, you can definitely talk. You can blether, Lou. But in fact, it sort of has. It's like combined with the fact that I'm writing a memoir.
Yeah.
And this memoir is intense.
Is it been a lot?
It is a lot. It's still not finished, and I've actually gone into therapy because to support me, I'm being as honest and as vulnerable as I can be because I'm actually a private person.
Yeah.
So for instance, my childhood trauma is very private. I have never really talked about it. So I do talk about that, and I talk about some other things that I haven't talked about. No kiss and tell, no, you know, shaming or blaming, but this is, I mean, I'm 76, so if I can't be more vulnerable and if I'm going to start a book, you've got to tell as much as possible.
Yeah.
So doing that has allowed me to do, it's sort of opened the door for me to do a podcast that's called Turning Points, so that I ask my guests to go deep. A lot of them, the ones I've chosen to speak to, famous, so we know a lot about them.
And
But
they
I've
don't really
asked-
go deep normally, though, do they? Back in the day, I can remember.
Well,
they never would go as deep as we go nowadays on podcasts. They get really under the skin, don't they?
Well, people, in some ways, it's really, really good to be vulnerable. And, I mean, I've learned that because my modus operandi, I sing and I do what I do to connect.
Yeah.
I want to connect to people. I don't want to feel different, odd. And I think as a child, I felt different and separate and odd, and I had issues that I wouldn't talk about. So to be able to talk about your issues,
Lovely.
you find that other people have similar issues. And I think that's so helpful. It makes you don't feel alone.
Sure, and I bet you're having conversations with people you've known for years, but you've never had these conversations with people you've known for years.
I actually have said that probably to most of them. I mean, I did with Boy George. Well, George is easy. George
He's
never
an
shuts
open
up.
book. Open
He
book,
ne-
isn't he?
He never shuts up for a minute. I love him to death, and it's easy to work with him. But then, you know, I've had Brian Cox. I think we dropped the Brian Cox podcast this week. And, you know, went into things about his childhood that he hasn't talked about. Because I really do feel that our childhood, anyway, forms us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, and if we have things that didn't work, you know, or anything we need to look at, you can get better, you can grow from your child. You don't have to stay there with some... And I have stayed stuck with certain things that I talk about in the book that I now can relate to with my guests on Turning Point, the podcast. And it's sort of like everything seems to be full. And then I now have a charity I have a trust called Lulu's Mental Health Trust. And that all comes about from actually getting older, getting, you know...
Wiser.
You know, hopefully wiser.
But they say that, don't they? In your later life, you should give back, and that's a lovely way to do
There
it.
you are.
That's you're in that. Well, it's
Denzel
not-
Washington, it's
learn,
earn, return.
Return.
That's
Yeah.
a really sweet... I
Yeah.
love Denzel. Well,
Yeah.
I love Denzel. I've always loved Denzel.
You've always just
Get
been
him
return. You're so good. You're so
But yes, it's true. As we get older, hopefully get wiser, and then you realise, you know, what is it I have to give? What do I have? I mean, I've talked my head off for 60-odd years, but there's a lot of things. I'm so private in certain areas. My mother used to say, never wash your dirty linen in public, and that's how it was looked at then.
Back then.
But now, it can be helpful. I mean, some people overshare. I gotta watch that, but I think if it's constructive, where you
Helpful.
relatable,
Yeah.
then we can all help each other. So and it's actually, I mean, Brian Cox and I did nothing but laugh.
What a great guest, by the way. Here.
Well, yeah,
Brilliant.
I've got Brian Cox, Kristen Scott Thomas,
Right.
John Legend, and more.
But you're used to doing this. You had It's Lulu.
Yeah.
It was an amazing time. You had the stars. I mean,
We just
you're a
say
big
before we
star.
finish up, if you wanted to start with it, that is one great black book you're looking at there, isn't it? She's like,
I've got a good book.
Yeah.
I've got, and you know, I can call people, but people aren't always available. But most people I've called, they've said, maybe not now, maybe we'll do it for the second lot. And so it's great.
Lou, thank you. Lou's podcast, Turning Point's available to stream now. Looking
Thank
forward
you
to
so
listening
much
to
for
that.
visiting
Lou's-
our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning. Emmy, three-time Tony Award winner. That Oscar's going to come one day. Who's now taken the West End by storm at the Kit Kat Club.
Yeah, that's right. After making his mark in shows like Kinky Boots and Pose, Billy Porter is now wowing audiences in the Kit Kat Club in the West End's Cabaret. Lovely to have you here, Billy.
Lovely to be here.
We are honoured. We are absolutely honoured.
How's the run going? Are you enjoying it?
The run is going great. You know, I haven't been on stage in 8 years.
Wow. Oh, so was it a little bit of a shock?
My body is, my sweet 55-year-old body is like, what are you doing? But, you know, I'm taking care of myself and going to physio.
How are you taking care of yourself? You got some
I'm
massages?
going to visit physio. I'm sitting in hot tubs. I'm taking nice
yes.
baths.
You're not messing
I have
around.
that Theragun.
Oh, yes.
The Theragun, you know.
So I'm everywhere, that guy.
Yes, I'm stretching out.
I do like those guns.
They're good, aren't they?
Great, really
Oh, they're good.
Billy, it's a physical role as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's almost like a contortionist. It's like you've got this
Well,
incredible kind of...
I don't do it as contortionist-y as some of the others have.
Yeah.
You got to do it for your 55-year-old body, babe.
Yes, and they also tailor it. You know, the great part about this production is that the creative team have set it up so that every person that comes into these roles, it gets tailored to who they are.
That's great.
And, you know, I'm one of the first, I know Leighton, a black man who played this role. I'm the second black man to ever play this role. Marisha Wallace is the first black woman in a commercial production in the 60-year history.
Yeah.
And so when you know, I'm a black man in Germany. They didn't like us either, but I can't assimilate. So the trajectory of where my second act goes, once it gets a little darker, is really powerful.
It is, yeah, because the role... I mean, it's hard to kind of stress what an experience cabaret is.
Yes,
I've seen it once and I loved it. But you're... As soon as you walk in, you go downstairs and you come up and and you're basically you are transported to kind of like Germany, the Weimar Republic,
1929, 30 Germany.
Yeah, right. So even the food, so you eat pretzels and beer and schnapps and stuff like that. You know.
It's great. It's
really wonderful.
But
then it kind of the story goes from kind of Germany. Around there in the
before the occupation.
I can't believe you're the second black man to play that character. When you think about it,
in a commercial production.
In Germany, though, at the time when it was set, there were black people.
Yes, there were many.
And you auditioned in the 90s for this role as well?
I did audition in the 90s for the past, that last revival back in the 90s. I never got to audition because they weren't really, you know, they essentially just said, oh, that's not the story we're telling.
Right.
And I was like, no, we were there. And I did my research and I got a book called Destined to Witness, Growing Up Black in Nazi Germany. And I gave it to the entire creative team. And now all these years later, though, you know, what I always say, my mom used to always say, God's delay is not denial. And now here I am in this moment with Marisha Wallace and Daniel Bauerbach. And now there are 3 Black people in these 3 central characters. Nice. And the story resonates differently. It expands in a way that allows for more people to feel seen. The Nazis didn't like anybody except themselves. So whatever you were in the concentration camp if you weren't them.
So it's so interesting. So you're not playing it colorblind. So you're playing it like, so you are playing it like.
No, because when you think about it, you know, my character would have fled the Jim Crow South to go to Europe to where he thought he would be safe. And then you get there and it's, you know, so there's no safety.
No, it's just because traditionally the MC is the kind of character that almost symbolic of, exactly, more from this kind of like, everyone's having a great time to kind of almost the corruption and the, wonderful. We have to talk the Olivier's.
Yes, please.
Well, so you're hosting with Beverly Knight.
I am hosting with Beverly Knight.
How preparations going?
Oh, preparations are going well. We've been having rehearsals, and Beverly is one of my favorites. I think what I love about Bev is that we are very similar in terms of how intentional our careers are and expansive they are. You know, she's really a theater person. I'm really a theater person. She's really a mainstream music recording artist. I'm really a mainstream music recording artist.
You're both really incredible.
Thank you. And we've both been sort of like doing that, she over here and me in America. And it was so interesting because her team called a couple of months ago and asked me to do a duet with her. From a demo from a long time ago, from my first album. And she recognized my voice. And she said, that's Billy Porter, and I want to do it as a duet.
How's the accent?
It's not bad, actually.
It's not bad. And
more Wolverhampton. She's got more than Wolverhampton twang.
Yes,
she's good. It's good.
Yes, she does. And then I got here. I said, wait till I get there, and then we'll do it.
Together.
And I couldn't even get to her before they had called and asked us to do the Olivier's together. So, like, you know, divine order is a thing.
Obviously, all I'm bothered about is what are you going to be wearing, babe?
I'm working on it. You know, I got to keep it a secret.
These are creations. When
I
you see you on the red carpet.
I know. But, you know, I have a co-host. So, you know, Beverly, I'm not.
Oh, you can't.
It's not just me.
Oh, yes. So what
you know what I mean? We're working together. Like, we have to be a unified.
Don't worry about that, Billy. I get upstaged every week. So.
We have to be unified.
I'm like,
no, we are unified today.
We are today.
You look very unified today.
But I always wonder, you know, when you're wearing those outfits, are they comfortable? And or is it just about the beauty?
It's beauty. It's pain, honey. Pain is beauty.
When you wear something like that, and then you go, do you go and then sit down in that, or do you get changed?
I did go sit down.
That lampshade one.
That lampshade one was the the heaviest.
Was it?
Because that hat was heavy. That hat was really heavy. So I did the red carpet.
And you just dragged
with
it
the little clicker that opened and closed, and then I took it off and sent it back with the milliner. It said, you take that for the rest of the night. It was so heavy.
So good, though.
It was so heavy.
We're so excited. We're so excited about Cabaret.
We'll be chatting.
Definitely going to come and see.
Please come and see Cabaret. We're in it till May 24th.
If you want to stay...
Me and Marisha Wallace.
If you want to stay for jerk chicken, Rusty's cooking today, you're more than welcome.
I will stay for jerk chicken, honey.
Absolutely brilliant.
Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club now performing in London's West End until the 24th. You're until the 24th, and best of luck.
Thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.
We are joined by our finalists.
Good,
Oh my
aren't they?
God, they're so good. Yeah, we've got Michaela, we've got Sam, and we've got Anton.
Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
I mean, look at them, they're absolutely broken.
just hobbled here.
When do I get onto a massage table? So tired.
Congratulations, you're in the final. It's so incredible. What a journey that you've been on. And Michaela, I'll be honest with you, I had to ask you the first... You have never skated before?
Well, all three of us have maybe skated, you know, with the kids.
With the kids.
Like anybody
With the penguin.
has. Yeah, with the penguin holding onto the side.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we've gone through a lot of training. We started training last year, and we're still learning. And, I mean, every skate I do, I think I'm one toe pick away from falling. So, yeah, we've come a long way, I think.
It's a dangerous sport, isn't
Yeah,
it?
100%. So your partner, Mark, so he's been there or thereabouts, hasn't he? Has he ever won it?
No.
I think he's had it snatched away quite a few times.
Mark's been in the final 4 times. This is his last
Four?
year. Yeah, he's never skated the bolero. So
he's never done
I feel a heck of a pressure. Please, let me just skate the
That would
bolero
actually
for
be
Mark.
lovely for him to skate that.
So the way it works is one gets eliminated, one of you gets eliminated, then the final 2 do the bolero.
Yeah. And then
So,
the winner
so you're all
is
training the bolero right now, just in case?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you all have to do it?
And we'll all be standing there in our purple outfits, ready to perform it, and one of us won't. It's brutal.
Yeah.
Well, Anton, you was in the skate-off last week. How did that feel, and what's it like having to do it again?
It's never nice being in the skate-off, and I've been in there 3 times. But
Your scores were good, though, weren't they?
yeah, and that's what was a bit demoralising. When you score good and you're still in the skate-off, it can derail you, but I've got a great partner in the net who talks to me and tells me, come on, let's have fun, let's do it. This could be the last time we do it. Let's go and give the ice everything.
Look how good you are.
And that's what I've done.
Yes, Anton, you're a central defender, yeah? So you're really light on your feet.
That wasn't something that you said to me when I played football, for sure. But if you're saying it to me now, then great.
How does it compare? Because obviously football's so instinctive, and you've got, it's such a team sport. But when when the moment comes, you probably don't. It's second nature to you, right? It's not even thinking it. Whereas this, what's it like?
Do you know what was crazy? When I first started training, everything that my body's used to and how it's meant to combat certain things, I had to untrain and relearn because it's completely different. When you're skating, when you're going round a circle, you have to be inside it. Your body needs to be inside it. Whereas when you're playing football, you have to counterbalance to make sure that you're strong.
Yeah.
So it's complete opposite, and that's what I found really, really difficult.
Yeah.
And what about the performance side of things? Did you enjoy that?
I might have sisters that are performers, but I certainly ain't one of them. It's been really, really difficult and been really, really out of my comfort zone. But I've really enjoyed embracing all the challenges that come with Dance on the Ice.
Your family are incredible. You're proper achievers, right? So you and your brother, obviously, and your sister's in West End, is that?
Yeah, one's in Hamilton, in the West End.
Wow.
And the other one's just come off a worldwide tour with Romeo and Juliet, the ballet.
Wow.
Check those genes out. Yeah.
Sam, you got lifted by Molly. How was that for you?
I loved it, actually. Yeah, it was good fun. And we do we have a showcase this Sunday, which we'll all get to do. And I feel lifts again. So yeah.
How did that
she's
come about?
strong.
Was she just doing it for a joke?
Yeah, no, when we get our choreography on a Monday.
Yeah.
We always Dan and Karen will ask us what are you thinking? And Molly had said I want to try and lift Sam, and then she did it, and she was like, oh, he's surprisingly light. We'll just do it again. So that was it. I was like, brilliant. That's it. We're having it.
So good. Have you enjoyed the journey?
I have. I've really enjoyed the journey. It's mad because it's just a roller coaster, but I've absolutely loved it, and I think it's really nice to just push yourself out your comfort zone, challenge yourself, and I feel like
Because the thing is, when you grow up and do something like choreo, and everyone knows you from choreo, and that's your whole life, right? So you must be so comfortable. It must be like. It's so easy for you in many ways, isn't it? And it's a tough job. You've got a lot of lines to learn. But to take yourself out of that comfort zone and put yourself into something like this, was that
to be yourself?
Yeah. Were you relishing that?
It's been. I think it's funny though because obviously in Korea I play Chesney and he's got a lot going on and he's, luck's not always been on his side. But then you come and do something like this, and we've lent into these characters a lot. They've given from Movie Week doing Jungle Book, and I was Baloo, and then I've been that one last week. We've done all these mad these mad characters, and it's been nice to be able to perform in that way because it's something so it's so out of the ordinary for me.
How's the shoulder? Because I know you've dislocated. Is it fine?
Everything, it's good.
Oh, come on, Sam, that wasn't fine.
I'm a broken man. But,
when you dislocate a shoulder, what happened? Like, does someone?
It comes out of your socket.
Yeah, but then what? So
then they have to put it back in.
Do you put it back in?
No. We've got a really good physio, haven't we, in Sharon? We're all there on a regular basis.
Michaela, basically, we just need Chris Packham to wear a bikini, so this is what we're after, isn't it?
Well, you've won the bet now, haven't you?
Is the bet still on?
He did say that he was going to turn up in a sequin leotard, but unfortunately, he's going to Costa Rica tomorrow to film, so he's not going to appear. But he's been incredibly supportive, and he watches it back and analyses it. He's so
Packham,
invested. It's so Chris. Yeah.
Well, listen, don't let him off easy. I want that first.
We want a photo,
that
don't
first
we?
episode of Springwatch. I want to see like him in full
He can do an
sequence.
Instagram post in the bikini.
Yeah, he needs to do an Instagram post.
Well, listen, we've got some messages for you because it is a big day on Sunday. These people wanted to say good luck.
Hello, Michaela. Chris here. I'm rooting for you. The foxes are rooting for you. The badgers, the mice, the stoats, the weasels, the birds, even the slugs are rooting for you, Michaela Strachan.
Anton, myself, Kate and the kids, and all the family, actually, we're all proud of you, man. Take care, and I'll be screaming! Come on!
Good luck, Sam! You're brilliant, mate.
Smash it, mate. We love you. We miss you.
We're very proud of you.
We're keeping it warm for you.
Come on, Chutney.
Don't fall over. Don't fall over.
Come on, Chutney.
Chutney.
Nice.
Oh,
best of luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was
It's going to be amazing.
You can catch Dancing on Ice in the final this Sunday, 6:30 on ITV1.
Hi, everyone. Just wanted to say thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. Now, listen, we upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
It's been 20 years since our next guest completely transformed the way our children eat at school.
Back in 2005, Jamie Oliver shone a light on what was really being served up at lunchtime in his groundbreaking documentary series, Jamie's School Dinners.
But despite huge changes, 2 decades on, Jamie says work still needs to be done, and he joins us now to tell us more. 20 years.
20 years, Britain. Where did that go?
I have no idea. But it has really changed for the better.
To prove it.
But it has really changed for the better, hasn't it?
It's changed for the better, for sure. I think general standards have gone up across the board. Better and good services is definitely way more common. 24,000 schools, the biggest food system in the country, bigger than any franchise.
Yeah.
It's a massive responsibility. And I've carried on doing it ever since. And you know, what we have to try and keep doing is making sure they all get better. So there's still, in my opinion, it's not scientific, about 40% of schools are struggling to meet standards. I think probably 60% are meeting standards, probably 20% are over-delivering. And obviously, when I did the documentary, it was kind of a sad tale about what we feed our kids 190 days of the year, from the age of 4 to 16. There were standards, you know, governed by law, which were set for dog food, which is classic for Crofts going on, but nothing for our children's food.
Isn't that crazy, though, the fact that that was the case?
It was very British to regard dogs over our kids.
Yeah.
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 And so we created the first nutritional standards.
Yeah.
And obviously the banter around turkey twizzlers came from when we created minimum standards for a meat product. So I got them raised to 65% meat in, say, a sausage or a patty, and anything that didn't qualify for that, and there are all kind of tricks of mechanically reclaimed meats and all kinds of fillers and additives and E-numbers. If they didn't qualify to the standards, they couldn't sell to schools anymore. So I think a lot of the public would never imagine, for anyone that works out there, like there were government contracts 15, 25 years to look after a borough or a county. Massive government contracts for commercial businesses. Can you imagine getting when have you had a 25-year contract? It's like, it doesn't
extraordinary,
exist. So, yeah, there was a bit of uncovering to do, but ultimately it was about how do we feed our kids? 190 days of the year, breakfast and lunch is pretty much half a child's nutrition for their whole childhood. So, of course, when the state are responsible for that, we have this amazing opportunity to fill our kids up with the good stuff and create a school which is learning, a place where kids get to explore and try new things.
I think one of the things that shocked me, though, and it's still, when we look back at it, what you were trying to do was help parents, help schools,
and most importantly, help the kids. You were only trying to... It was coming from 100%. A really positive place. But the pushback you got at the time... I mean, you mentioned the turkey twizzlers thing. The amount of vitriol that you faced because you were taking...
Oh, yeah.
You were taking this or trying to take this off the menu seems extraordinary.
Yeah, I mean, like, normally in life, when you improve something... by law, and you give them more for their money, you get thanked for it. But no, I got quite a lot of grief about that. But I think now those kids are parents of kids. So I had grief for like 10 years. Like, you took away my Twizzlers. But now they've got kids, it's sort of like, oh, yeah, like, it's probably a good idea to not feed them rubbish every day and maybe get some more good stuff into them. But I think more to the point is generally humans or the public's capacity for change isn't great. We don't like change.
No.
And I guess what I was trying to prove is that we had to change because the pain of not changing was going to be worse. So we're still fighting for child health and we're still struggling with child health. And diet-related disease is still one of the biggest killers in this country. The NHS is still under a lot of... It's all linked.
Yeah. Obesity rates are up. We were talking about that.
And we've never cooked less than now, and we've never eaten less veg than now. So it's... we're not in a great place, and I just think that school has this opportunity if it's supported correctly. There's amazing cooks around the country, by the way. And the School Food Awards was actually a different strategy, because instead of telling a story about what was going wrong, I wanted the awards to really amplify and give love and credit to schools, teachers, cooks.
So let's talk about this.
Yeah,
it's the
third
Good
year, right?
School Food Awards that you've been doing for 3 years.
It's been amazing. So what we're trying to do is share with the country what good looks like, so that parents that are not happy, and there's parents watching now going, our service is not good enough, then we want to show you what good looks like because it's yours to have. The standards are everyone's standards for 24,000 schools. So when we shine a light on schools that are smashing it, and you see like how it is when you have a supportive head teacher, when you've got like a cook and a team that are delivering against all the odds, even with equipment breaking down. So I just want to find those people, and that's where I need your audience's help.
Yes.
Because today we're opening the floodgates.
For nominations.
If you have a school food educator, if you've got a cook, a head teacher, a rising star that's doing amazing things in providing amazing food for your kids, please help me celebrate them, pat them on the back, surprise them, give them love. They get prizes. We make little films. And like last year's winners, is amazing because the schools got busier, so now they're turning people away because everyone wants to go to the school. Like, the staffing issues have gone in the school because everyone knows it's a school of excellence. So this little bit of love is really helping the schools, helping the cooks, and, of course, helping the kids.
It's great to just celebrate people who really care and who are doing a great job as well.
I spent all that time doing sad stories, which is important to tell the truth and what's going on, but it's much nicer to celebrate excellence.
It's lovely. I was saying to Jamie, I went in the other day into my little boy's school and I met all the dinner ladies and I met Lou, who was in charge.
So you got to have lunch with all the kids?
And I sat down and had like...
Lovely idea.
And it was a brilliant idea because it's just acknowledging, wow, you're doing a great job here.
These cooks are amazing.
Yeah.
They do incredible things with hardly any resource.
Yes.
They're feeding our beautiful kids. It's honestly, if you told chefs you've got to feed 350 people, 1,000 people in 45 minutes, they would cry.
Yeah.
They are doing... they are really, really doing it. And I think the reason I've carried on doing school dinners in 20 years is because, no disrespect to any government, and I'm completely apolitical, we always consider school dinners like a luxury, not a necessity. And the science, the nutrition, just backs up if we feed our kids right, we can educate them better.
Yes.
That we know we've proved that their mental educational attainment is better, the results are better. We know that if we give certain nutrients into their food, their brain functions better. So this is all part of just running a great school. And if I didn't keep that up for 20 years, I know governments would have wriggled out of it because it's a couple of quid they can, save on here and save on there. But yeah, to celebrate these cooks, I mean, last year's cook made a kitchen, because they had nothing, out of an old stationery cupboard.
That's just brilliant.
And he was knocking out 350 covers out of that little stationery cupboard, restaurant quality food. He won the award. And he's one of the few men, actually, that's in the industry. It's generally driven by women and mothers of the schools, actually, generally. But what he does is amazing. He's got other awards since. So, yeah, really beautiful. We had the school food educator. They shut her part of the school down because of asbestos. And off her own back, she was kind of renting like village halls and other things in the town, and she carried on teaching the kids, and they all got their GCSEs. So like, these are special
heroes.
People. Yeah, and look, they're doing it for the love.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's nice to amplify the input. When I started school dinners, often the cooks didn't feel part of the school.
Yeah.
It was like a little side note.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it's really about making it fully inclusive. And of course, if the kids get fed right, the teachers do as well.
Yeah, it all works.
Brilliant.
It all works. We have the This Morning Award as well.
We
this year for
do.
the first time, which we're excited about.
Yes, we do. Lifetime achievement.
Lifetime achievement.
Many of you watching might have had a wonderful dinner lady that was there when you were there, and they're probably still cooking there now.
Imagine.
People that have done 20 years, 30 years. So our job together is to go and find a lifetime achievement cook that has served sometimes 3 or 4 generations of kids.
Rachel, I've said this before, Rachel
Go on.
Tasker's mum, at Epping Infant School where I was, she
Oh.
was amazing, Mrs Tasker, because we had to finish our food before, it was a different time. You had to finish food before you left, and there was some food, I think it was corned beef, I didn't like, and she knew it. She always used to scrape it off my plate quietly and put it down, so she knew.
You got it
Well,
even
Mrs.
then,
Tasker.
hadn't you?
Cats
you know,
was
twinkle.
winking at them to get extra portions.
Yes, that's your
The
one.
old
Milo
strategies.
was, exactly. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Oh,
I know
hello.
you're going
And the stars of the brand new Bergerac, Damien Maloney and Zoe Monoacre, join us. Now, good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Tell us what you just said looking at that trailer.
Well, every time I see that trailer, I just remember how much, fake tan I had to wear, because I have very, pale Irish skin.
And Jersey's a very sunny island.
Very beautiful sunny island, and I'm supposed to spend quite a lot of time on the island.
You look very healthy.
Thank you very much.
It's wonderful for us as kids who grew up in the 80s watching Bergerac to see the series in its reboot. Neither of you actually had watched it or watched the original series. Zoe, you hadn't?
No, I hadn't. No, I just remember John Nettles and I used to go horse riding on a Saturday when we weren't working at Stratford, when we were with
you at the RSC?
Yes.
Yeah.
Doing some...
And so that's, we knew each other, we had fun, but we never did a show together.
But it was a big show, and Damien, you hadn't seen it?
No, I hadn't seen it, and really, I kind of only really reminded how big it was when I found out I had the job, and kind of family members would come up and say, "Oh my God, Damien, the car, the jacket, jersey."
Yes.
And I was like, "What is this?"
Did you meet John? Did you go and meet John and maybe talk to him about? Because obviously it's very big shoes to fill as well. People remember the show so fondly.
Yeah, like you say, such wonderful, nostalgic memories of the show. I didn't meet John before we shot, but I met him afterwards. I went down to Torquay on the train to meet him. We had lunch. And honestly, we just kind of compared notes on Jersey. You know, the places that we would go to visit and where we stayed when we were there. And I could sit listening to him for hours. I don't listen to any podcasts, but I would listen to a podcast of John Nettles talking about each episode of Bergerac, because he remembers everyone sharp as a tack.
And you worked with him at the Royal Shakespeare Company, Zoe?
Well, we never were in a show together.
Oh, you went, okay, but you're
No,
part of the
never in a
company?
show- we were part of that company.
I see.
78, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
So way before, Bergerac came
yeah,
out
yeah.
as well. But what I loved about how they've reinvented or rebooted this is your character in the original was Jim Bergerac's father-in-law. In this one, you're Jim Bergerac's mother-in-law.
Yeah.
So, and still called Charlie?
Still called Charlie.
And still quite feisty and still trying to keep Bergerac on the straight and narrow.
I can't tell you that because I've never watched the original. I never watched Charlie when he was a man.
But Charlie as a woman, though, describe Charlie as a woman.
Formidable, I think.
Well, we see her, the first time we see her in this show is when she's trying... There's been a death. Her daughter and... and your wife. Yes. And so the first time it's about a relationship changes when somebody dies, I think. Or there's a divorce or something. Everybody has to reassess how they are together, their relationship together. And I think that's when you see this... It's a kind of crisis for both of them. For all three of them, actually.
Their daughter as well, yeah.
Yes, and it's because it's about protection. So she's trying to protect
her
granddaughter and watching a man who is obsessed with being who he is. And so it's a very... You see a confrontation immediately because they're trying to readjust. And I think that, from that premise, I thought that was a good kick-off.
And it's quite different because it's one case that spreads over 6 episodes, right?
Yes, exactly. As opposed to when John was Bergerac, it was a case a week.
Okay.
So it means that we have more time, I think, to get stuck into the characters and to the relationships. And I've always really seen this as a family drama between a mother-in-law and a father and a daughter who are, like you say, in complete crisis. And it just so happens that this kind of very thrilling detective kind of investigation kind of ripples its way through the series.
The one thing that is the same, though, if not just a bit slightly older, that beautiful burgundy, gorgeous machine.
The car.
Isn't it
Oh,
amazing?
the car. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Me?
She was literally away then.
And like I said, that
Did
was the
you get
first
to drive
question.
it?
I got to step into the car.
Oh, they don't trust you that much.
Well, I think in the nature of filming, you know, it's kind of, you know, you start the car and you drive it for a couple of meters and then you stop and you reverse and you take after take after take. And a car that's as old as that, because it is the original car that John drove in the very first series of Bergerac. It just wouldn't be able to kind of maintain that. So,
right.
But what I think Toby Whithouse, our writer, has done so brilliantly is that the car is a character in the show. That my wife has bought the car for Jim as a project while she's sick.
Yeah.
And then when she passes away, it kind of becomes his obsession, and he sleeps in the car at night time. And it's I just thought I love that resonance.
So you didn't really get to drive that, but Zoe, he did take you for a drive though, because there is some driving scenes between the two of you.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I got to. We closed a road in Torquay where we were filming, and I drove Zoe just at a bit of a lick because
she's not over it yet.
Was it a bit of a lick, Zoe?
It was great, but it was a surprise. I tell you, I mean.
Because I'm a very safe driver, but Jim isn't. So that was kind of my license.
So that's why you had to go.
A license to thrill, yeah.
Apparently.
We've loved it. It's really fascinating watching you come back and doing your own version. It's not the only reboot that's happening, though. Zoe, the Harry Potter reboot is happening. They're doing a TV series of Harry Potter. Is that another reboot that you'd be tempted to sort of get involved with as well? Would you go back and do that again?
No, I think it's a reboot of something new.
Right.
The same as Bergerac. It's a new way of looking at it. And I think somebody else should take over and change it if they want. So it's like Bergerac, it's a completely different ballgame now.
Yeah.
Not been quite as long between the two, of course. Harry Potter didn't end 34 years ago. I mean, that's the interesting thing,
was it
isn't
34 years?
Since Bergerac was, yeah.
Oh, Bergerac.
She's still hurtling down a country lane in that car at high speed. I think.
What did you do to her, Daddy?
Sorry, Zoe, never again.
No, it's okay. No, but Harry Potter, I mean, the books for me were... I mean, when I was doing My Family, Gabriel, who played the young boy, he was obsessed. And his face was in the book instead of being on set.
Yes.
And I thought I'd try and read it and see... The first book, it's my kind of book.
Right.
It's bringing magic into the 21st century.
Yeah.
Which I loved. And so it was fascinating. So I can see why he wasn't... I mean, it was amazing when it came out.
And on World Book Day as well, there's going to be lots of Harrys and Hermione's going to school today. Thank you both for joining us. It's a real treat to catch up with you. All the episodes of the new series of Bergerac are available to stream for free on You, or you can watch Thursdays at 9 p.m. on the You and Drama. Oh, hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.